I want to do concept art as a side skill instead of something animation related. That's definitely something you can do. It's not a bad thing. I know a lot of animators that kind of transition from animation into storyboarding or into concept art or into kind of previs, into any of those different categories. And sometimes you can do both. It depends on, like, if you're working at a big studio, usually you'll be doing one thing. But if you're at a smaller studio, you could definitely be doing both. And it's a good skill to have. It helps complement your ability to tell stories. So, for example, my brother is an illustrator. He can draw. He's done storyboarding. I wonder if actually I can find... Give me 1 second here. I'm going to see if I can find some of the storyboards he did for our little project. Just a side project we were working on. I don't know if I have the latest one. Let's see. So, like, he's an animator. He started off as a CG animator. He does a 2D animation now as well, and he also does storyboarding and previs, or like character design, things like that. So, is it a bad thing? Not at all. You can definitely do that. The big thing is if you're currently learning animation and you want to learn an entirely new skill as well, I would typically recommend kind of focusing on one, just because both of them are big things to learn. And if you're splitting your focus and trying to do two things at once, sometimes that can hinder a little bit. Now, doing two things at once and kind of focusing on the majority of your time, for example, on animation, and then just doing a little bit of drawing on the side and kind of learning how to do that, that's not a bad thing. It's as long as you're not distracting yourself and trying to do too many things at once. I just put the printer for 45-hour print. Bad idea. We'll have to see. Oh, yeah, this was a 24-hour print, and like it was all fine until it got to this point. So it printed like this way, and it's like you can see right there, it's like halfway through the print, and it's like, or more than halfway through the print. It's like, oh man, something just got bumped, and it's like, no, why? Time to reprint. But it's not like I'm as active work. It's just kind of like it was looking so good up until that point, and now it's got that split. So let's share this here. So this, for example, for anyone who is curious about potentially learning storyboarding or things like that, it is, like I said, entirely possible. It's so this was something Cameron was just working on in his spare time. He actually he was doing a class in Animation Mentor where he was showing his process on how he would approach storyboarding and drawing and all of that, which is actually pre-recorded, or is recorded. So if you're interested in that, you just go into the demos and resources and you'll find it there. So there's actually music here. I think I can play this music. So let me see here. Let me mute that. And there we go. Hopefully you guys can hear that. So this was something like he was just doing in his spare time, and basically just he found this piece of music and he wanted to create an animation for it. Now there's a few things in here that this is an old version. There's been a lot of changes. I always love that part. He timed it so well. There's a lot of changes in here to kind of add more elements, because there's a few moments that are just kind of a little too slow. But like, this is something you could do. And is there something wrong with that? Not at all. It's honestly really cool. I'm actually trying to learn how to draw. And you can see, like, sometimes it's just scribbles. It doesn't have to be super detailed. Oh, got really loud there. I always forget it gets really loud. uh, so I'm trying to learn how to draw at least somewhat consistently so that I can do things like this, because to be able to just take an idea and put it on paper and like plan this out, this is a 5-minute short. To try and block that out in Maya would be nightmarishly long. He got the base idea for this done in, I think, 2 days. And then from there, it took a while to like refine the drawings and everything. But the base idea was there. And he changed so many things very quickly because it's just quick doodles. And now, like, his quick doodles compared to mine are like crazy detailed. Like a drawing that takes him 5 minutes would take me a day to do. So, I'd have to show some of the behind the scenes stuff. This is my favorite drawing right there. So you can see like very detailed drawings or little scribble. They both work as long as it tells the idea. That's the important thing. So yeah, I know I'm kind of talking in circles here, but I highly recommend if you're, the scribble drawing is my favorite frame. That one, and do I have the image here? I hope I do. Yes, I do. Okay, after this, I'm going to show you something. It's my favorite drawing that he did for this. And then there's the credits, placeholder credits. So, like, this was just something that we were working on just in our spare time, throwing together and trying to figure out, would this work? Is this something that could be a project? Now, these are all a lot of placeholder images. I wonder if I have the latest one. Yes, I do. So, like, see how all these drawings are very basic? Oh, dang it, I don't have all of them. Cameron redrew a lot of these and they're so beautiful. I wish I had the latest ones. Do I? No, those are the sketches. So we're hopefully going to be working more on this in the future. It's really just finding the time for it. So yeah, you can see this one's one of the frames that are much better, like, detailed, and even like this one in comparison to what he's actually got right now is just like super sketchy and low detail. Yeah, so that's something Cameron's been working on, which, if you wonder why he's not in the streams, is because he's working on this and like 12 other projects. It's his workload is crazy. We're hopefully going to be streaming together again soon, but he's got so many other things right now that's kind of taking his focus. But I wanted to just show, like, this was some of his in process, so you can see how a lot of the drawings were much simpler before, just very rough. And this was just the first thumbnail pass, which I think took him like a day to do, and basically thumbnailed the entire idea in one go. And from there, just kept refining, and like the version that he has now is even further refined than the one I have on my system here. But the drawing I wanted to show is this. So I love these drawings. Like, you got all these really dark Aquamentus studies, and then you got this one in the corner. Little miserable Aquamentus. He's so cute. I love that one. But yeah, Cameron was doing a whole bunch of studies. Like, this, and again, this is where if you know how to do some drawing, again, it doesn't have to be as detailed as this, you can start exploring ideas much more quickly. So for example, he was doing character tests, like what realism to create Link at. Should it be very realistic, cartoony? There was this version here which was really cartoony. Which villain should he fight? Should it be Aquamentus, which again, you've got studies there. Should it be Aquamentus, or would it be Gleeok? Right there. So he did all of these studies without having to try and rig and model and do all of that whole process in Maya, and it helps a lot. Now, do you always have to do that? No. But having that skill, yes. I highly recommend it. Trying to see what other drawings he has here. There we go. This was the initial sketch, the thing that's kind of started it all. He was just doing I wonder if I could draw the sprite as a more realistic version. And then after that, I was like, oh, I wonder if I should make a short film out of this. And it worked out. So, yeah. A little bit of a sidetrack there, but it's definitely something, again, I would recommend exploring if you have time and if you have the passion for it and the love of drawing. If you don't want to draw, you don't have to. I can't draw worth a darn. My secondary skills lies in kind of the Maya side of things. Sculpting, rendering, lighting, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff I had learned before I was doing animation. And I'm not going to say I'm like a master at it in any way. It's just a generalist skill. But I have those skills. Drawing, not so much.